Hello everyone, and thanks for checking out today's video. My name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is all about ponds, koi ponds, water gardens. It's almost, as one of my viewers described, as like an online course. I have well over 150 videos at this point, all about different topics, from everything including construction, design, to maintaining, understanding, problem solving, fish, plants, filtration systems, the whole bit. So lots of information here for you, and hopefully a lot of good information that you can find helpful and help you to enjoy your ponds that much more. So please take some time, take a look here around at the channel. Go through the playlists. I have different categories broken down to help you find different videos a little bit easier. And yes, again, thank you for watching. Today, we're doing a video that one of my viewers mentioned, hey, you should do a video about mosquitoes. And I thought that was a great idea. So here I am. Here's your video on mosquitoes. Thank you for the request. It definitely, I think is going to be good and helpful for some people. So we're going to dive right in here. Obviously mosquitoes are attracted to water, right? So your ponds are going to be a magnet for mosquitoes. So we're going to try to talk a little bit about ways to, you're never going to stop them, right? But at least limit the population so that things don't get out of hand, okay? So let's just start off, mosquitoes are everywhere, right? They are, no matter where you live, whether you live next to a big body of water or not, you go out at night, a warm summer night, chances are there's going to be mosquitoes around. Now the whole problem with mosquitoes is not only do they bite and you get a little itchy rash and stuff, they also carry diseases, right? They carry parasites like malaria. They carry different bacterias like dengue fever, yellow fever, Zika. There's a number of them. These are just a few things I'm mentioning. They carry these diseases from host to host. So as they, basically bite or suck the blood out of one creature, animal, person, they then fly to another, right, where they're going to attach and suck blood off of them, and in turn transmit these viruses and bacteria back and forth. So it can be pretty dangerous, and some of these things are, really dangerous to people as well as not only animals but people as well. So we really want to try to limit our exposure to them. However, it's very difficult, right? Like I said, they're everywhere. When I was in college, I went to school down in Miami. I lived I had an apartment up on the 11th floor of a high-rise building, and I'd sit out there at night on the balcony, and and this is a city, an urban environment, right? And I would get mosquito bites 11 stories up, right, in the city. So they're around, right? So let's talk a little bit about their life cycle and understand, how mosquitoes reproduce and, where they're coming from, all right? So basically, mosquitoes have 4 different cycles in their life, right? They go from an egg to a larva to a pupa to adult, all right? Now, adult mosquitoes will lay their eggs in water. They always lay their eggs in water. So what they really like is a stale, stagnant, still body of water. So anything, a bird bath, a fountain, your pond, a natural pond, a lake, anything that has, fairly still, calm water, they love it. All right. Anything around your house, like I said, a bird bath, a flower pot that's empty that's sitting there, the lid of a trash can maybe that's turned upside down and gathers some water in the rain, a puddle in your driveway if it doesn't evaporate and disappear quickly, can be a spot that mosquitoes are going to lay their eggs. Now, their eggs usually hatch fairly quickly, within a few days. And a mosquito, one female mosquito is able to lay about 100 to 200 eggs. Now, a mosquito has a short lifespan. All right, it's basically almost around a month. So they go from an egg to hatch within a few days, maybe within a week, to a larva, to a pupa, and to an adult, all within a month. And once they're an adult, their sole purpose is to mate and lay more eggs. All right, then they die. So again, they don't live for a long time, which can be to our advantage when it comes to controlling them. Because if we can break that life cycle, it can be reduce their numbers, easier, quicker. Now, it's a pretty interesting thing. Once an adult, a female mosquito mates, it has to find blood. Okay, most of these varieties, and there's hundreds of varieties of mosquitoes around the world, but the majority of them, once they mate, they need to find a blood meal. Okay, by gorging themselves on blood after they've mated, that blood somehow makes the eggs grow better. Okay, I don't understand the science about it. I just read it. I kind of, basically they need that blood meal for the eggs inside of the female to develop. All right. So she will gorge herself on a blood meal after mating. A couple days later, 2-3 days after that, she will lay the eggs in the water. The eggs, after a couple days, will then hatch to larvae, and then later turn to a pupa, and then into the adult. All right, so that's basically the life cycle. So once we have a mosquito, okay, and it's going to come down to our ponds, let's try to figure out first how to limit the population of mosquitoes in our ponds, and then we'll talk about limiting the mosquito population outside of our ponds around our houses. All right, so in our ponds, the most effective way is to keep a lot of water movement. All right, again, they like still, stagnant water. So if we can keep our ponds circulating, through our pumps and our filter systems, a lot of water movement, agitation, okay, they do not like that as much. Now, there's a couple different ways I want to talk about agitating the water, which can help with those mosquitoes laying their eggs, help control, stop mosquitoes from laying their eggs. Okay, so one, definitely, right, waterfalls, fast-moving streams, just in general, if, a lot of circulation in that pond. So just say, we have a 1,000-gallon pond, maybe we want like a 3,000 or 4,000 gallon per hour pump running our filters. Really turn that water volume over quickly. Another good idea is a good air pump. A nice aeration system in the pond that's creating a nice boil of water, constantly churning up the water and moving water around. If we have, sometimes in the summer, we have our air systems on and our air stones are down deep in the bottom of the pond, which is great. But if we do have a mosquito problem, we might want to try, if possible, to move our air stones around. Sometimes we have them just, on little small airline tubing or something, that we can move the air stones around and maybe bring them up around certain areas around the side of our pond, you know, where that water is going to be churning up right around your rock ledges and you know, shallower water around the pond. Get that moving more. That's a good idea. Fountains. Setting up a little fountain in the pond also helps. Especially if we can get a fountain that pulls water closer to the surface than off the bottom of the pond and spitting it out. Okay. Now there's a flip side to that, right? Just like air stones in the summer, we want the air stones down at the bottom of the pond so that they aerate that entire volume of water and not just a little bit on the top. But for mosquito control, we want that agitation on the top. All right. Some fountains, right? We may have a pump connected to the bottom of the fountain. Just to say simple, a pipe with a fountain head on top. If we can keep that pump up higher, maybe up on a brick, a stone, a pot or something, right? So that we're kind of just agitating the water on the top, that helps with mosquitoes. However, again, you might want it down on the bottom to recirculate that water and aerate as much as possible in the summer. So there's a little flip side, so you can play with that on your own, depending on, you know, your oxygen supply in the pond. You know, you can play with that either way. Another good little thing that I've come up with is to buy one of these little fountain pumps, you know, a 300, 500 gallon, you know, per hour little fountain pump, just something small that you would normally hook up like a 1/2 inch or, you know, 5/8 little rubber hose to or something like that. And bring that up on the side of your pond around the edge by your rock work, and even kind of prop it up so that it's on an angle. And so when you plug it in, the water is basically creating a little jet that comes out, breaks the surface of the water a little bit, you know, not shooting up in the air, but just break the surface tension of the water, and kind of have it angled down around the side of your pond. So we're basically trying to create a little current around the edge of your pond. Sometimes, you know, around the edge of our pond we have plants, we have shelves, we might have pots, and in between those pots and in between, you know, our little rocks and stuff, it might be good spaces for these mosquitoes to lay their eggs, because it might be a little calm spot, a little quiet spot in the corner. By putting in a little pump like this to agitate that water and maybe try to circulate the water rather in the middle of the pond out around the sides a little bit and create a little bit of a current around the sides of your ponds, that can help too. So I kind of like that idea. Now, also, fish. Your fish are going to play a big role in this, all right? Especially goldfish and shabunkins and even golden orphs. These are fish that will definitely eat mosquito larvae. So having a nice, decent population of fish in your pond is a really, really good idea. Koi, it's kind of funny. In my experience, I really can't say that koi are going to be really effective in eating mosquito larvae. Although I bet they would as small fish. You know, when they're smaller, they would. When they're bigger, I don't think they're going to go around eating, you know, teeny tiny little mosquito larvae. But I know goldfish do. Shabunkin are basically like a calico multicolored goldfish. And golden orphs are a really cool fish. They are actually a more aggressive fish as far as they school, they fast, they dart around the pond, and I have seen them actually jump out of the water to attack bugs, to try to eat bugs. So that might be a really good option too. Now I realize, you know, a lot of people have a koi pond, right? And not a, you know, a goldfish pond. So in that case, I'm thinking, you know, rather than relying on the koi so much, I would say the water movement is your most important thing. If you have big koi, I'm guessing you probably don't have as many plants in the pond. You have more of an open body of water. And so water movement is definitely a good option for you. If you have a water garden, all right, where your pond is designed more around the plants, it's still a good idea to have a couple goldfish in there, to help control that mosquito larva population in there as well. All right. So definitely, fish. All right. So we've got aeration, we've got fountains, we've got water movement, and we've got fish and stuff to think about in our ponds to help control mosquitoes. Again, you're never going to eliminate them, okay? But if we can limit and control the population a little bit, that certainly helps. So now let's talk a little bit about outside your pond, all right? Outside your pond, a key thing, as everybody says, to try to remove all the stagnant water sources as we can, okay? Keep an eye on the bird baths. If you have like a little fountain or something in the yard, make sure that stays running and the water is always circulating through that. Puddles in the driveway, I said, right? A garbage pail lid, an old pot, a wheelbarrow maybe that's sitting on the side of your house that has water in it. Anything like this, all right? Try to eliminate as much of that as we can and not invite them into a space to come lay their eggs. Now, there are a lot of different types of chemical insecticides that are used for mosquitoes, and they basically come in two forms. What we call a larvicide, which is meant to kill mosquito larvae in water, and then there's what's called an adulticide, which is used to kill the adults right outside of the water. Sprays for trees, things like this. Hold on one sec. Sorry, I'm back. Okay, I have these. These are called mosquito dunks. It's a biological mosquito control, and each one of these little discs can help control mosquitoes in the water for up to 30 days. All right, so these are things that you can use in a bird bath. You can use them in your pond too. They say they are non-toxic. They won't harm your fish. That is a biological control. However, my only hesitation with these is in a pond is I'd have to read all the instructions here, but you would probably need a lot of these, in a decent sized pond to really be effective. They're more effective in like a bird bath, a small fountain, stuff like that. But these are nice because, again, they won't hurt your fish. If you have a small pond, maybe, you can try putting a couple of these in. Now, I want to tell you a quick story about a client of mine who had a bunch of fish die in his pond. So it's a client, I built their pond several years ago, probably 7-8 years ago at least. I maintain their pond. I do the maintenance on it once a month. I'm over there cleaning the filters, make sure everything is good. The pond has been healthy, beautiful. The fish are great. Everything is, crystal clear, clean. Pond's great, all right? He calls me up one day in the middle of last summer, and he says, "Chris, there's something wrong with my pond." Now, I was just there probably a couple weeks before cleaning the filters and everything was great. So he calls me, he says, "I think there's something wrong. My fish are all just laying around on the bottom. There's a couple laying, like floating up near the top. They're not eating. Something's wrong," right? So I go over there and yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just look at it and the fish are not right. They're all kind of hanging up near the bottom or on the top, and their fins are tucked in and they're all just kind of like sitting there. So something is definitely wrong. Now, being that almost like all the fish are hardly moving, and I mean, that tells me it's a water quality problem, right? Because it's not just something affecting one fish, it's in the whole pond, okay? and there was no parasites or sores or open ulcers or wounds on them or anything like that, to tell me it's a parasite infection or something like that. So I test the water. Everything tested okay. So what's going on? There's something wrong here. So my immediate thing was to drain the pond down, right? I actually drained out probably 85% of the water and filled the pond back up with fresh water. So as I'm doing all this, I'm filling the pond back up. The lady came out of the house and she says to me, she goes, "Oh, Chris," she goes, "what's causing all this?" I said, I really don't know. I don't know. She goes, "We had a company come in last week and spray for mosquitoes in all the trees. But when they did that, they covered the pond with a tarp so nothing would get in the pond." And I was like, oh boy. So 2 days ago, it rained, right? Or at night, whatever, it rained. So all the chemicals that they sprayed in the trees over the pond, when it rained, it all dripped down into the pond, all right? So you need to really be aware of it. I'm 99% sure that's what our problem was, all right? So while they came in and sprayed for those mosquitoes and they covered the pond with a tarp so nothing would get in the pond, right? The residue sat in the trees on the leaves, and when it rained, it got wet and it all dripped and fell into the pond, all right? So don't spray the trees around your pond. I can't believe that whatever company did this didn't know that. I mean, it just seems like it's a no-brainer. I guess they figured once it dried, it would be gone. But they were wrong. All right. So, we have different insecticides, larvicides, adulticides that companies can use to spray around your property. So that's another option. Also, there's all kinds of strips. There's crazy things that you can burn and it gives off a smoke that's, I guess they don't like. It deters them. Citronella candles is another thing, but I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan. I really don't believe that they work very well, because I've tried that on my own patio. I've sat out on the patio at night with at the table, and I had a couple citronella candles going, and I still had mosquitoes around me. Did it help? I don't know. I really can't tell you, right? I can't say that, if I didn't have the candle, there'd be 100 mosquitoes flying around. I did have the candle and I only had 20. I can't say that, but all I can tell you is that I had citronella candles around on my patio and I still had mosquitoes around. Another thing is those bug zappers, those lights, and they fly and zzz, right? They get zapped. There's different types of things like that they're attracted to. The light from the zapper, right? There's chemical pheromone attracting traps, for mosquitoes, as well as other insects and Japanese beetles, all that kind of stuff. However, one thing I want you to understand about these devices is that they attract bugs, be it a light or a pheromone. They are going to attract them. So if you buy these things, they are effective. But if you're trying to keep bugs, mosquitoes, whatever, away from your garden, your patio, your deck, whatever, don't put one of these things near your patio, garden, or deck, because they're going to attract the mosquitoes to it. All right? Keep it out in your yard someplace so that all the mosquitoes around your deck will want to go out there to the light. All right? Years ago, when I used to work in a garden center ages ago, when I was back in high school and college and stuff, bag-a-bug beetle traps were very popular, for Japanese beetles. And our joke was, be a good neighbor and buy one for your neighbor, right? So, be a good neighbor, buy one for your neighbor. So you buy it, you put it in your neighbor's yard, and they're like, oh, thank you, oh, this is great, I have Japanese beetles. But by doing that, it's going to help take the beetles from your yard and bring them over there. Okay, so you're really not doing him a favor, but he thinks you are, right? So that was kind of like our little joke. But these things work the same way, right? They're going to attract bugs to it. So don't keep them where you are sitting. Keep them off away. Now, one last thing I want to talk about that is a natural deterrent, a natural killer of mosquitoes is bats. All right. A lot of people, I have a few clients that have purchased and installed bat houses on their property. Up in a tree, up on the side of a barn or whatever. And these bat houses are, designed to attract the bats so that they stay in there. And then at night, they come out and you have bats flying around your property. Bats are an amazing way of limiting, controlling mosquito populations. They'll eat mosquitoes all night long. Okay? Now, a lot of people don't like bats. They just think that they're disgusting or creepy, or, they think of Dracula and they get a bad rap right away. However, they're like little mice with wings. They're kind of cool. They won't hurt you, but they do a great job of controlling the insect populations, in the area that they live. So definitely a great natural, defense against mosquitoes is to attract bats and have some bat houses where the bats can live. That's definitely an idea for you as well. All right, so I'm going to wrap that up. I've given you a lot of ideas, a lot of things to think about. Get rid of these mosquitoes so you're not out by your pond all day going, ouch, killing mosquitoes. You can sit out there and hopefully enjoy things a little bit more. So again, whether you live near a natural waterway or there ain't a pond within miles of your house, somehow you'll still have mosquitoes around. So try to limit their population around your property, around your house, by not giving them places to lay their eggs and breed. So that definitely, will not eliminate it, but help. All right. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please check out everything else here on my channel. Hit that like button, subscribe. I really appreciate your support. I'm trying to grow this channel more and more here, so I can keep providing you guys with as much hopefully beneficial information as I can. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you back soon in another video. So take care, have a great day, and enjoy your pond. Bye.